At the start, the movie throws us straight into chaos. Tens of thousands of warriors from the Dai tribe march toward the lands of the Song dynasty, ready to crush everything in their path. The city standing in their way is Yi Chang, and its defense is led by a battle commander named Lin Chuan. Even among hardened soldiers, panic starts to spread the moment they realize just how overwhelming the enemy really is. Then the attack begins. The Dai forces storm in with terrifying speed, even using airborne troops to break through the city's defenses. Arrows rain down in the thousands, and the defenders fight back as best they can, but they are simply outnumbered. Before long, the city gates are forced open, and the bald Dai king keeps pushing his army forward, demanding a full assault. Inside Yi Chang, soldiers and ordinary citizens band together, refusing to surrender. They manage to hold their ground longer than anyone expects, but the pressure keeps building. And right when things look hopeless, a drunken young man steps in and turns the tide. With only a few swift moves, he drops a group of attackers like it is nothing. His name is Jun Bao, a martial artist trained in the Taichi school. By his side is a young girl named Wan Yao, and together they push back wave after wave of enemy troops. This man will change everything. He is the Taichi master. Elsewhere on the battlefield, Lin Chuan finds himself cornered by the D King's elite fighters. Jun Bao arrives just in time to help, and the female warrior facing Lin Chuan chooses to retreat, as if she has already gotten what she came for. Jun Bao and Wan Yao keep driving back the D cavalry, while that mysterious female warrior delivers a valuable item taken from inside the city. She urges the Dai King to pull out, warning him that Yi Chang's resistance is stronger than it looks. At first, he refuses to listen, but when a near miss reminds him how close danger really is, he finally orders a retreat. The Dai soldiers begin to withdraw, but they do not leave empty-handed. In the confusion, they capture Wan Yao and take her with them. Jun Bao immediately gives chase, following them all the way to a forbidden forest. That is where everything turns unsettling. One by one, the soldiers start disappearing. The attacks seem to come from below the ground itself, but they do not realize they have crossed into a restricted area. Jun Bao demands they release Wan Yao, but before anything can happen, a strange sound rises behind him, and a massive shadow moves in the darkness. The creature hunting them is revealed, a terrifying silkworm monster. Jun Bao manages to save Wan Yao and tells her to run and hide. The monster turns on him, spraying thick clumps of white silk that threaten to trap him in place. Then a beautiful flute melody drifts through the forest. The silkworm monster suddenly calms down, almost as if it is enchanted by the sound. And that is when Jun Bao realizes the truth. The one controlling this monster is a woman, the musician behind the flute. Jun Bao cannot help but be captivated, not just by the music, but by her presence. Before long, the woman confronts them for trespassing in her territory. Jun Bao apologizes and explains what really happened. After hearing him out, she chooses to spare them, even though she refuses to reveal who she truly is. Wan Yao, however, cannot hide her jealousy. Meanwhile, back in Yi Chang, Lin Chuan forces a meeting with a government official. He demands reinforcements, urging the emperor to send more troops to protect the city. But the official brushes him off, treating the crisis like it barely matters. Lin Chuan returns to Yi Chang with only fragile hope left, and with no help coming, he starts preparing a new plan, recruiting volunteer fighters from among the common people. Not long after that, Jun Bao comes to visit Lin Chuan. It turns out the two of them have been close friends since childhood. Lin Chuan asks Jun Bao to join the army and help defend the Song dynasty, which has been under constant attack. Jun Bao politely refuses. He says he only wants to live as an ordinary man. Before leaving, he takes some money from the table and promises to repay it with immortality pills. With that money, he buys Wan Yao a simple windmill toy, something that instantly makes her happy. As time passes, the story shifts to a hidden and forbidden place. Two massive statues stand guard over a powerful seal. Beneath them, an old man is imprisoned. He belongs to a forbidden sect and has been locked away here for 12 long years. A familiar voice calls out to him. It is Jun Bao. Despite the rules of the Taichi sect, Jun Bao is the only one who regularly visits this place, often bringing the old man wine. The old man immediately snatches the wine, showing off his terrifying control by making it float through the air. Jun Bao keeps trying to grab it back, and without realizing it, he begins to imitate the movements being demonstrated. This is how he unknowingly learns the 7 styles, techniques condemned as heretical by the 8 great sects. Jun Bao does not care about those labels. The old man, impressed by how quickly Jun Bao understands each movement, grows even more fond of him. It is clear their bond has been built over many years. Jun Bao is not just a visitor, He is the guardian of this cave and the only disciple trusted by the Taichi sect to protect the seal key that keeps the old man in prison. Around this same time, the Taichi sect holds a competition to choose its next leader. The Grand Master and the elders watch closely as the disciples face off, searching for the one most worthy of leading the sect. As the incense continues to burn, marking both the beginning and the end of the trial, a disciple named Mao Feng defeats all the others. Confident in his victory, he believes the position is already his. Wang Yao asks for the ceremony to be delayed, reminding everyone that Jun Bao, a senior disciple, has not yet arrived. Mao Feng's master dismisses the request, claiming that even if Jun Bao appears, the incense will have already burned out, meaning the contest is over. At that very moment, Jun Bao steps forward. He has been ready all along and now stands in the arena. The two senior disciples clash, each showing their skills. Realizing he is losing, Mao Feng resorts to cheating and pulls out a hidden blade. Wang Yao and the elders immediately notice what he has done. Using the 7 styles he learned from the imprisoned old man, Jun Bao defeats Mao Feng decisively. Enraged by his student's loss, one of the elders accuses Jun Bao of practicing forbidden techniques. Jun Bao calmly responds that whether an art is good or evil depends on the person who uses it. The elder continues to slander him, and in the end, the Grandmaster sentences Jun Bao to return to training at the secret wall as punishment. Jun Bao is not discouraged by this decision. To him, the trust shown by the Grandmaster, especially in giving him the seal key, is an honor. But then something feels wrong. He reaches into his pocket and realizes the key is gone. For a moment, he suspects that Wang Yao may have taken it. The story then shifts to the headquarters of the Taichi sect. There, we see the woman who controls the silkworm monster. Her name is Yi, and she is revealed to be the true leader of this sect. Her goal is to free the sect's main leader, the very old man who was sealed away by the Taichi sect. That imprisoned man is also Yi's father. Some of her followers, including a two-faced warrior and one of her female subordinates, suggest forming an alliance with the D sect. Yi strongly rejects the idea. Her followers keep pressuring her, claiming everything they do is for her sake. But behind their words lies a far more sinister plan. Yi is clearly uncomfortable with their presence and intentions. This refusal angers the Dai King. He orders his masked warrior to eliminate her. During the attack, Yi is struck by a poisonous palm technique, a deadly blow that gives its victim only 3 days to live. She manages to escape, but the masked warrior is confident she will not survive for long. At the same time, these forces agree to launch a full operation to free the sealed leader of the Taichi sect from Taichi territory. Their plan goes even further. They intend to wipe out the Taichi sect and eventually destroy the remaining 8 great sects across the Central Plains. Elsewhere, Jun Bao and Wang Yao successfully create immortality pills. Wang Yao reminds Jun Bao that he still needs to recover the missing seal key, but he ignores her concern and focuses on selling the pills instead. He asks Wang Yao to guard the divine furnace and promises to buy her another windmill toy with the money he earns. As always, Wang Yao is thrilled, since windmills are all she ever asked for. Not long after, Jun Bao is traveling while enjoying his wine. Suddenly, the silkworm monster snatches the drink away, as if trying to guide him somewhere. Jun Bao follows it and soon finds his bottle again. Nearby, he is shocked to discover the same woman he met before, now lying weak and barely conscious. He approaches her and realizes she has been poisoned by the deadly palm strike. Without hesitation, Jun Bao gives her one of his immortality pills. He prepares himself, focuses his energy, snaps a bamboo stalk, and begins treating her with his Tai Chi techniques. Her body lifts helplessly as the energy flows through her. But in the end, Jun Bao succeeds. The poison inside her body is completely expelled. Meanwhile, the two-faced warrior leads his men in a brutal assault on the Taichi sect. The disciples are powerless to stop them. United as a demonic faction, they attack with one goal in mind, freeing their imprisoned leader. Back with Jun Bao, he continues practicing and refining every movement of his techniques. Soon, the woman he saved regains consciousness. Jun Bao cannot help but stare at her, leaving her confused about his intentions. In truth, Jun Bao is simply wondering what kind of reward he might receive for saving her life. He takes the chance to ask for something, suggesting a reward meant for a man. The woman reacts with anger, assuming the worst. Jun Bao quickly avoids trouble and explains that he only wants to share a drink together. Realizing she misunderstood and let her thoughts go too far, she feels embarrassed and agrees. Before leaving, she expresses her gratitude. Jun Bao then asks the woman her name once more. This time, she finally tells him she is Yuer. Jun Bao is clearly pleased and hands her his wine bottle. Not long after, Wang Yao shows up, visibly jealous. She keeps asking Jun Bao to wait for her until she grows up. Jun Bao only laughs at the innocent request and notices her face is dirty and blackened. Wang Yao explains it happened because the divine furnace was left unattended and burned while she fell asleep. Their moment is cut short when an ominous bell rings from the Taichi sect. Sensing danger, Jun Bao and Wang Yao rush back at once. When they arrive, they witness the unthinkable. The sealed old man is in the process of being freed by his followers. The seal key is revealed, the mysterious barrier breaks, and after 12 long years, the old man is finally released. Soon after, the Taichi disciples and their leader arrive, but they are completely overwhelmed by the power of the Demon King. They are helpless against him. At this critical moment, the Grandmaster of the sect steps in. Old grudges resurface as the two sides confront each other, blaming one another for the past. Their leaders clash in a brutal and relentless battle. Elsewhere, Jun Bao and Wang Yao are stunned by the destruction of their sect. Amid the ruins, they find one surviving disciple. It turns out to be Mao Feng. With his final strength, he urges them to flee and save themselves. Not long after, the demon sect arrives, carrying several wounded figures. Jun Bao is confused to see the old man now completely free. Among them, the seal key is returned. The old man thanks Jun Bao for the wine he once brought him during his imprisonment and tells him to go and find his master. The demon sect then departs. Jun Bao quickly searches for his teacher and is horrified by what he finds. His master is barely clinging to life. With his final strength, he appoints Jun Bao as the new leader of the Taichi sect, since they are the only ones left. He also leaves Jun Bao with a final request, urging him to seek help from the 8 great sects who once sealed and expelled the demon sect. Not long after, the master passes away. The next day, grief still hangs heavily over everything. Wang Yao tries to comfort Jun Bao by giving him a windmill toy. That night, Yuer sits alone, lost in thought, quietly playing her flute. Late into the night, someone suddenly appears before Yuer. She is shocked to find herself reunited with her father after 12 years apart. Long ago, the Tsuchi sect was labeled heretical by the 8 great sects. During that purge, Yuer's mother was killed, and both the Taichi sect and the 8 great sects oppressed them. From that moment on, her father harbored deep hatred toward the 8 sects and swore revenge. Yuer tells her father that the Tsuchi sect is now being manipulated by the D tribe, and that she has taken control of the sect herself. Hearing this, her father falls silent. He realizes something is deeply wrong within the Tsuchi sect. He then leaves, promising to return and bring Yuer back once his business is finished. Before long, he arrives at the Tsuchi headquarters. Furious, he confronts his followers for betraying him and harming Yuer, his daughter. They claim everything they did was to free their leader. Shortly after, the masked warrior arrives with an order from the Dai King, demanding that they join forces to destroy the remaining 8 great sects. At first, the leader of the Tsuchi sect refuses and even attacks the masked warrior. However, the masked warrior proves powerful enough to match him. In the end, the two sides reach an agreement and decide to join forces. One day, Commander Lin Chuan learns that Yi Chang is about to face another attack. He once again meets with the city official, pleading for the emperor to send reinforcements. But once again, his request is rejected. The official claims the emperor is preoccupied with greater matters of state. Lin Chuan's frustration and disappointment only deepen. Around the same time, Jun Bao comes to say his farewell. The two share one last drink together. Jun Bao explains that he plans to seek help from the 8 great sects. Hearing this, Lin Chuan proposes a different path. He suggests forming a rebel army first, then dealing with the demonic sect afterward. To Jun Bao, this idea crosses a line he cannot accept. Disappointed, he turns away and leaves his longtime friend behind. Before parting, Jun Bao asks if Lin Chuan still remembers their childhood days, when they used to play together beneath a peach tree in spring. The memory lingers in Lin Chuan's mind as Jun Bao walks away. Elsewhere, the leaders of the great sects are captured one by one. They are used as sacrifices to complete a dark ritual that enhances demonic power. From a sinister pool, a figure emerges, having successfully mastered that power. It is the masked warrior wielding the poisonous palm. The two-faced warrior is impressed and suggests finding the dragon's silkworm crystal to perfect the final 10 levels of godlike strength. Meanwhile, Jun Bao finally arrives at Wulong Cliff, the sacred meeting place of the 8 great sects. There, he unexpectedly meets another messenger seeking help. His name is Xiaoxi, the sole survivor of a sect wiped out by the demonic forces. Together, they approach the leaders of the 8 great sects. Jun Bao explains his purpose, but something feels wrong. The leaders offer no response. The truth soon becomes clear. They have all been killed by the demonic faction. Overcome with anger, Jun Bao cannot accept what has happened and launches an attack at the old man standing there. However, his techniques are easily read and countered. Calm and detached, the old man shows no interest in fighting him. Consumed by rage and grief over his master's death, Jun Bao keeps attacking. Wang Yao tries to help, but she is thrown aside and crashes into Xiaoxi. Seeing this only fuels Jun Bao's fury, and without realizing it, he manages to land a strike on the old man. Moments later, Yu arrives and steps between them. Her father is surprised to see that she and Jun Bao know each other. Jun Bao is equally shocked to learn that this man is Yuer's father. At that point, the old man explains that his quest for revenge is already over, and he has no desire to continue fighting Jun Bao. As they prepare to leave, the masked warrior suddenly appears, acting on orders from the D-King. A fierce battle breaks out between two masters. The masked warrior proves powerful enough to overwhelm the old man. Jun Bao rushes in and manages to knock the mask off his opponent. The truth is devastating. The masked warrior is revealed to be Lin Chuan, Jun Bao's own friend. Everything has been part of his plan to seize control of the Song dynasty. He is also the traitor who orchestrated the destruction of the sects from the shadows. Lin Chuan once again invites Jun Bao to join him, but Jun Bao refuses. Enraged, Wang Yao attacks Lin Chuan, only to be effortlessly grabbed and choked until she is helpless. Jun Bao tries to intervene, but his strength is not enough to change the outcome. The old man steps in, handing over the dragon silkworm crystal and urging Jun Bao to escape with the others. Tragically, he is struck down by Lin Chuan's poisonous palm and dies in the process. Not long after, Wang Yao is on the brink of death. The poison has spread too far, and she no longer has the strength to resist it. Jun Bao desperately tries to draw the poison out, but nothing works. With her remaining strength, Wang Yao gives him her last windmill toy and apologizes for not being able to play with him anymore. Yuer can only watch in silence as the moment slips away. Soon after, Wang Yao passes away. Jun Bao buries her himself, overwhelmed by grief that words cannot express. Not long after, a strange presence fills the air. Two warriors from the demonic faction appear and attack him, acting on the orders of the Dai leader. The two-faced warrior launches a relentless assault. At the same time, the female warrior restrains Jun Bao with her enchanted rope. The two-faced warrior unleashes a deadly technique, sending Jun Bao flying and plunging him into a river. As he sinks, Jun Bao hears echoes of his master's teachings from the past. In that moment, he finally understands the true meaning behind his martial arts and inner power. Elsewhere, the two attackers sense something is wrong. They are stunned when Jun Bao suddenly reappears before them. The fight resumes, but this time, his presence feels completely different. They take turns attacking, yet none of their strength can match his. The two-faced warrior is ultimately defeated, and the truth is revealed. He has been controlled all along by a hidden dwarf pulling the strings. Meanwhile, back at the demon headquarters, tension erupts between the Dai leader and the masked warrior. The Dai leader feels his orders are being ignored and commands his men to kill the masked warrior. One by one, they fall, unable to defeat him. Even the Dai leader himself is no match and is badly injured. At that moment, Yuer arrives and takes grim satisfaction in watching them turn against each other. She joins the fight, but is quickly overwhelmed and sent flying. Just then, Jun Bao arrives without warning and steps in to help. He tries to bring Lin Chuan back to his senses, urging him to abandon this dark path. Lin Chuan refuses, driven by his hatred of the government and his own unchecked ambition. He launches another attack. A brutal battle between former friends begins. Jun Bao demonstrates his mastery by replicating techniques with ease, and for a time their strength is evenly matched. Soon the dragon silkworm appears and joins the fight. Its silk threads restrict Lin Chuan's movements, and Jun Bao uses them to his advantage. The battle continues inside a massive cocoon of silk. In a sudden turn, Lin Chuan climbs onto the silkworm's head and seizes the sacred crystal embedded within it. After swallowing the crystal, his power multiplies instantly. The fight continues at an even more destructive level until a collapsing cliff crashes down on both of them. Elsewhere, Xiao Xi and the remaining disciples who survived continue fighting against the demonic forces. Meanwhile, Jun Bao and Lin Chuan regain consciousness and resume their unfinished battle. Lin Chuan attacks with everything he has, even using a massive pillar as a weapon. At that moment, Jun Bao releases all the corrupted power within Lin Chuan's body. Lin Chuan is confused as his strength rapidly fades away. Jun Bao explains that the demonic energy and poison have been expelled together, and that forcing inner power like this carries the risk of death. Jun Bao keeps urging his old friend to repent, but Lin Chuan attempts one last attack, trying to force his power back. His condition suddenly worsens. In his final moments, Lin Chuan realizes his mistakes and remembers the days when they played together beneath the peach tree in spring. Jun Bao remembers it too. Soon after, Lin Chuan dies. Elsewhere, Yuer mourns the disappearance of the dragon silkworm, which has vanished without a trace. Still, her sadness eases when she sees that Jun Bao has survived. By the next day, the journey continues. The three of them walk together for a while. When the time comes, Yuer takes her leave, choosing to depart and begin a new life in peace. Jun Bao watches her go in silence. Xiaoxi senses something stirring in Jun Bao's heart and wonders why he lets her leave. Jun Bao simply smiles, believing that if two people are meant to meet, their paths will cross again. With that, Jun Bao decides to live on his own and sets off toward Three Peaks Mountain. He walks ahead without looking back. Quietly, Xiaoxi follows behind him. So the moral of the story is, even with God-tier kung fu, life still falls apart if you trust the wrong friends and drink too much free wine.